Darkwing Duck. Yeah, that's what we'll come in on in this episode. Let's go. All right, we're live.
Do we have a duck race though?
You know
I
what?
don't think
Let
we
me
do.
check. Because I know there's like 10 a different type of Avon. I don't know if I ever made a duck one. That's a good question.
Wait, you
Oh
made 10
god,
including a duck? That would be surprising.
that'd be terrifying.
I know I made Arctic Tern people, but I don't know if I made ducks. Hold on.
There must
Duck
be
person bard, that'd be awful.
the penguin people. And there can be
They're
the
like
penguin,
basically penguins.
like from Batman.
Let's see, Thulsi, there's the King, yep, Kenku I have as Avon. Those are parrots, owls, hawks, cranes, vultures. No. I see no ducks.
No duck.
Damn it.
Wait,
We'll have to
but
change
then-
that. We'll have to change that. Rewrite
No
that.
Mallory glory.
No.
you gotta make a Scrooge McDuck so Gorb can steal his
Yes.
gold pit. We
Yep.
can dive into it.
Yep. Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. Big agree right there. All right. Well,
A creature that can just swim in gold is kind of scary.
yeah, that's true. Like I think a boulette can do that, but I don't know if anything else can. All right. Let's make our little chat bubbles here a little bit bigger. We got small all of a sudden. I don't know what's up with that. Let's do like a recap, like a big recap. Yeah. Let's see. Cleaned up the map a bit.
We never got to resolve stuff.
We've got a few things that need resolving, but we've got to ease back into things.
For the most part, we were deciding where we wanted to go, weren't we?
Yeah, and we can come back in on that.
Yeah. We're also missing a member now. So
we are.
kinda...
Jack will be back. He'll be back around. Just not this week. I think he.
I think for the most part he'll be indifferent as long as we're not going to Versia, which I don't think we would go to Versia anyways. So
I don't think he'd even care if we went to Versia. I think he'd be fine with it.
Yeah, what's up with Versia? It has all the X's on it.
Eastgard has Versia. Is in Versia, right?
Eastgard's in there.
Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Some players found some shit they want to go look at eventually, and that's what those little X's are. Places to burn down, I think, was what they registered them as.
Meat Hook could respect that.
Oh, are these all islands?
Those actually are under the ocean.
Oh.
So
cool.
I remastered this map. I got it all going again. And actually there are a number of other villages underneath the ocean that I have not included on this map, but they are there. They've just not been made public knowledge just yet.
I read that as bread. I was like, nor
you know
bread?
What? When I wrote it, I read it as bread. Because I kind of just type letters to make the names.
Yeah, Han Solo.
Except for the Han Solo thing. That was, yeah. It's the only... Don't worry about it. Anyway. Welcome back to Aelinor, everybody. It's been a while. I needed my rest, though. I got it. I'm feeling better. And that job is done, so thank God. 9 months of prosperity for me.
So we're up to starting at 7 p.m. our time.
7 p.m. Yep. Monday, Tuesday, and Sunday. All three groups. We got it. And we should have plenty of time to just kind of go at it. Especially this group, Monday, because my classes start at 11. So we'll have ample time. Aelinor. The holdout world. The last star, last planet. In an otherwise violet sea of stars, we find our player characters, these fate-given, these very special souls who are meant to act as a guiding force for the planet. That might be in a good way, might be in a bad way. It's up to them. I don't have any say in the matter, really. We just get to see what they get up to. Why don't you guys go ahead and put your tokens back on the board. We've got some people we need to you know, not recap necessarily. Actually, yeah, sort of a soft recap of what we've got going on in the scene that we're coming back to here. This is a recently reformed group after casualties, disagreements, things like this. A sort of shuffling of the guard, and not just in this group, but in others as well, has taken place here. With new needs and new shifts of focus, people are switching around kind of what they're trying to do, what they're trying to accomplish. You guys are currently within the Chantry of the Dawn, this giant sort of temple devoted to 3 dragon deities, Asgarath, Tythene, and Lumior, who encompass the gem dragons, the chromatic dragons, and the metallic dragons, respectively. It's also the home of all of these Fate Given, so that you'll see all different sorts of these agents walking across the halls and heading off to different places to get their jobs done and figuring out all different sorts of adventures and stuff like that. You guys are trying to figure out where your adventure is going to take you. And the idea, I think, Greg, you spoke up about focusing potentially on the capital as one option. But you all also have...
And I want to eat a god.
You also want to eat a god. I want you to eat a god. That is a genuine mechanic.
I want Greg to eat a god.
Yeah, I think everybody wants Greg to eat a god. So let's get to it.
I can't put my token on the map
I
again.
kind of figured that was the case. But that's all right. Because I can't either.
It's being stupid
It
again.
hasn't been fixed.
No, it's never been fixed. It never will be
Is
fixed.
it the image size?
It can't be, because I think the...
No, because I re-uploaded it and
I think,
redid
well,
the entire
and the
photo and
image is
everything.
made in the same way that your guys' tokens were, so... I'm just going to assume it's because you gave it a giant pink solid border and call it a day.
That's just not true.
Your token has a big pink solid border.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. I mean, it does look nice. All right. We'll worry
just
about
the
that when
thing
it
in-
in the
Just
meantime,
the thing
your
in token
pin,
maker.
and you'll just have to deal with it.
I am Pin now.
Your Pin. Pin is, of course, the missing member, a frogman of a half slatty race. All right. He'll be back. He'll be back around. So you know what? You're going to use
Done with
his
his
little
thing.
pet. You're going to be this guy.
Do you have Marin's token?
Oh, I do have Marin's old token. It's kind of
Oh, fuck
fuzzy.
yeah.
All right. I'll scroll to that. So what are you guys thinking? Go ahead and run through. You're in this office area. You're trying to come to a conclusion as to what your moves are going to be here. What you're thinking?
Well, we need to find the Umbral Call, which we kind of know where they are, but apparently there might be some remnants in Alhazar potentially. So we were gonna just explore the city, but I still need to wrap up what I've been doing before I formed this group in Eastgard a little bit.
If I recall, it's not just remnants, wasn't it? It's said that the important big boy Umbral Call guy was in Halzar.
I don't think he himself is in here, but he might have infiltrators. So I guess infiltrators might be a better word than remnants.
Okay. DM, if you could verify, because I feel like that was mentioned.
All 3 members of the Umbral Call, of like the King Ire, King Sorrow, and Queen Joy, were spotted in the center of town not too long ago. They are unsure as the level of presence within Helhazar of the Umbral Call, but it must be pretty bad. It being the crossroads to travel all across the world, right? If they're going to collect anywhere, this is possibly the most dangerous place for them to be, both for them and for you. So this might be ripe with opportunity for you to catch them, or this could be the place of some of the greatest catastrophes to come.
I personally think starting here is our best bet. And just making sure that the city isn't, plagued with rats.
In a city like this, there is always a rat cult.
I'm okay with searching for them here. I'm just not sure how we would begin. I mean, I have an image of their faces. Should we just post them up everywhere? I feel like that would cause panic.
I mean, to a certain extent, that's probably not the best, but I think like general DM does the Chantry, does like everybody kind of know who they are?
The people of the Chantry, do they know who the Umbral Call is, or
Like King Sorrow, King Iron.
yeah, they those three are particularly like knowledge in the Chantry of the Dawn. Outside of that, no, people don't know who the Umbral Call are, or who those figures are.
I mean, like we could put up like some kind of wanted sign, but I don't think we want to make a big stink about it because we don't. Obviously, panic is bad.
I don't know if I don't remember if I mentioned this last time, but something I want to keep like under like in the down low is mentioning that we're fate given, because we don't want to tell people we're fate given unless it's really necessary. And I feel like the same would apply with the Umbral Call, but maybe less so. Just that if people know that the Umbral Call are being looked for, then they'll be alert of people looking for them, so it would make them less likely to be spotted, because then they'll know to hide or whatever.
I mean, that is fair. That is fair. I can't argue with that.
I would say
Deus-
Halhazar might be the best. If you have to mention that you're fate given, this city might be the best place to say it. But I would say in general, don't say you're fate given. Sorry, go ahead.
And that would have been some something that was mentioned to you at the start of this whole thing was when you were chosen again, or Greg for the first time. People were like, "Yeah, you are this special thing, but you should not go flaunting it around right now." Previously, that wasn't a problem, but right now, Fate Given are being hunted by the Umbral Call and picked off. So it's best to not leave any openings, for either yourselves to get picked off or for those that are valuable to you in some way to get taken away, right, by these bastards. So
Being fate given is not more important than being meat hook.
and ultimately that is true.
I hope you forever keep your identity, even amongst our, I guess, social rank change.
If it makes you feel better, they're currently the same thing.
What? I'm not supposed to tell them I'm meat hook?
Definitely always tell people your meat hook, I would say.
Please flaunt that your meat hook. I
Yeah.
quite think
Yes.
that'll be to your advantage.
It usually has been.
Hmm.
Deus, what did you want to wrap up in Eastgard? I know you've got a few loose ends, things like that, but the queen is good. She's all set in that regard. If you've got some conversations to have with the king and things like that, though, we can get through
Yeah.
that.
So I need to tell the king that the queen is no longer an issue, but I also need to tell them like what was found in not Inyodir, the one we went to, Nalandir, yeah.
Nalandir, yeah.
And then I would like to like basically be sure that the civil war, I guess mainly between the three, well, I guess the two now, I guess the one now,
Yeah,
is resolved. Like, so there's no civil war. And like ideally I want to know what their future plans are and if they're set. Like I don't know how much more involvement I feel like I need to put in there, but I want to resolve things and kind of like claim, I guess, a sort of closure / reward if possible,
sure, I gotcha.
And like if I'm gonna reap a reward, I want the rest of this party to have it too,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
though they weren't really involved.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I gotcha. All right, copy. Cool. Just keeping that in mind. Let's figure out what everybody else wants to do over the. This is just a good idea of things to do. I think start of each session we should do, is just ask people what they want to try to accomplish this session. So we'll start next with actually Greg. Greg, what do you want to try to accomplish this session?
Greg plans on infiltrating Death Cult
Okay, sounds good.
and then finding Bigwood Mames and then kill them.
All right. I think that should be an actionable type of occurrence. No issues there.
I want
And
to do that after I finish wrapping up. But yes, I'm all for that.
yeah, I think we'll get through that and we'll play that through. And if you want, you guys can go with him to Eastgard and see what's there for just a little bit and head back. That's up to you guys. I'll leave that up to you. And Marin, what do you want to try to accomplish this session?
Wrong person, but yes.
Fuck
Wait,
me.
he's not actually gonna play Marin.
I'm looking at his token right now. That's why I said it.
Oh no.
We gotta fix your character sheet, even if it requires me to delete the whole thing and put it back up again.
If you make a copy of the character sheet and then like try to drag that token, will it work? I don't know.
That's smart.
That might be it. Might do it. Might fix it.
Might fix it.
I know you made a copy of Deus when I made Thaddeus.
No, for the most part, I'm
It's still
pretty in
broken
line
in
with
the same way.
what Greg has said.
Okay.
Honestly.
But also to recap, I'm like last time, I said that I'm pretty sure we know their base is in the Glasslands,
That
but
is
we
true.
also know that Glasslands are a really dangerous place. Just the environment itself, like even if we disregard the Umbral Call, which is a huge threat.
I
on its own.
feel like we either have to tackle the home threat or we tackle the away threat, but we have to tackle one of the two and only focus on that, though.
I think you should stay safe and like do the Halhazar search first, and if we don't find anything, then we can go to Glasslands kind of thing.
I think that's a good call.
Yeah. But I still need to wrap up first. I don't really want to do either of those until I wrap up.
That's
He's
fair.
scared. Yeah.
All
If
right.
we go to Glasslands, I'll need new midget.
Oh yes, for sure. In fact,
Possibly one of those lizard thingies.
I need to make a thing that can help us travel there, because travel there sounds tough in like really hot sand or glass.
Yeah, actual glass. It is a metaphor and also actually just real. No, sometimes it is actually so hot there that the sand is turned to glass. All right. But that usually that happens during like storms. Greg, you would know of the Glasslands. Not that you've necessarily been there, but it is a renowned place for just being shitty. Worse than the typical desert that you've gone through. Which is inhospitable, sure, but it takes it to a whole nother, almost legendary level. Well, certainly legendary level. All right, so to Eastgard then. You set forth, just walking down that main street and heading to and through the crossroads back to Eastgard. Actually, you could just use your stone either way.
I take car.
You take car. Okay, so you take car through portal. Do you stop nicely for the customs officer, or do you just plow through?
I plow through.
Okay, sounds good.
Greg, is there any way I can hitch a ride? Grab a.
Grab a spike.
Okay.
Nice.
I like,
Probably don't want a bloody one. You'll slip off.
That's fair. Yeah, I'll find the least wet spike. And,
I do need to re-bloody this.
If I enter before them, I will say, "Pardon my what's it called
Sure.
companions."
We'll say it takes a minute, just only a minute to get the engines ready. And you plow on through to Fellows Hill. She's not here anymore. Go ahead and try this one again. You guys awake. Not awaken. But you pass through this sort of swirling vortex. Something that you've probably done only a few times now, Greg. You kind of feel the vehicle lift up underneath you just slightly. And it comes crashing down on the end on the end side as you roll into this dwarven city, Fellows Hill.
I hope I landed on a child.
Not quite, but you have killed a goat. Not so bad.
Good enough.
Good enough. Everybody kind of
Just
looks.
lube up the wheels.
Yep. If you don't lube up your wheels with goat's blood, you're doing something wrong. All right. Everybody is kind of looking.
This is eco
agape.
friendly. It can be any blood.
At your arrival, you are free to do as you like. We will allow. Genji is not here. Actually, is Genji here? Did you take Genji back to?
Yeah, he returned to the
He did.
castle or something.
Yeah.
He went somewhere. Yeah.
All right. Then, in that case, you may, ascend up the stairs to the king's place. In the meantime, you guys can go with him if you like. I will show the map of the castle and things like that. We gotta move some of these folks out of here. Thad.
What? He actually, would he be here? He might be here. Yeah.
Up to you.
Oh,
All right.
that's an interesting token. I'm at 28 health.
Yeah, I think they've updated some things on the old 5e setup for Roll20.
Oh wait, I know why I'm 28 health.
Because now creature type is like a thing and stuff like that registered on here. So, all right. You make your way through with urgent news. You're able to find a quick entry. As you pass your way through, is anybody else going with him to meet this king, or are you guys gonna try to find something else
Sure.
to do? Okay.
Someone I'm gonna kill in the future. I might as well meet him now.
Okay.
I'm gonna be boop around town.
Welcome to Eastgard.
Did you say you're looking around town, Lorenzo?
Yeah, I'm gonna be boop around town.
Okay.
This is a land of hill dwarves. I need to speak with the king here to resolve some things. He is a very angry one, very powerful though.
Greg, you are free. Did I drag you around? Yeah. You should be able to have vision and stuff like that. If not,
I see blackness.
you see blackness. All right. How about now?
I do see blackness.
Still blackness.
Then what I'm
There
going
we
to do
go.
temporarily is give the owl vision and give everybody vision. So at least controlled by all players. So at least Lorenzo isn't looking at nothing while his character is away.
Don't worry about it. I'm chill.
I think I've already done it. All right, so go ahead and move yourself as you like.
Wipe my feet off the carpet.
Yep. There's like a
That's so
tooth,
civil of you.
a little bit of flayed gum.
Guess I follow.
You pass by the law mage of this land, gives you a nod. On
Got
your
his
way
name.
through. I
It's been a
also have, yeah, it's been a while. Just know his role.
Baron? Yeah, Baron Nefri.
Baron. Yes, that is his name. And not his title.
Oh, wait. I see.
Yeah, his name is Baron. All right, you enter in to the sort of meat hall, not meat hall, but dining table that he keeps himself at most hours of the day, as various guests come and go. Welcomes you in, familiar faces now, unfamiliar. He kind of looks kind of wide-eyed as Greg enters. Free to sit where you like, and he stands up. Well, why don't you all come around and take a seat? I think we've got some things to talk about ever since your journey far northward. Yes?
Yes, greetings, King Erikind. I have traveled back from Nalandir. I was able to locate and secure the queen. She was not treated well there for sure. Definitely allow me to tell her story actually.
He kind of gives you a nod and waves his hand.
So prior to her, I guess your rulership here, she was obviously in charge, but she told me that even like a couple of weeks prior to the exchange of leadership, she was no longer really in charge. Apparently, the king's loyalists. No, wait, what's the term? I'd say queen's loyalists, but like they were not her
The
loyalists.
Stonefellow loyalists.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Stonefellow loyalists were running the I guess the country or the kingdom behind the scenes with her just as the face. She was not able to call any of the shots. She was not treated well. Was kept prisoner even in Nalandir. She was held prisoner there, and they were probably the ones that were responsible for a lot of the things that turned bad and made the queen look bad prior to your better leadership. They are now located in Nalandir in their stronghold of roughly puts a number of estimate dwarves that he saw
Yeah,
amongst their army.
go ahead and make me an intelligence check just to see how good of an estimate you could get, because that is going to be a difficult thing for you to try to figure. I don't necessarily think you are trained in the art of war so much, so this will actually be a difficult thing. 13? Okay, you'll succeed. You can get a rough estimate as to the general populace of the camp, things like that. It's a moderate force. It's quite, they can take over a town, a city, but not for very long. And you certainly cleaned up a couple things on your way through there. So they're not too happy. But he can kind of nod and, well, at the very least, we outnumber them, especially now with our new assets from the Natarar.
I'm certain you will easily overrun them. Not only are their numbers smaller, but even their armor and weaponry is rattled, or no, what's it called? Not rattled, tattered. Like yeah, is not really up to par. Let's just say.
Kind of nods.
My party at the time, we stormed the stronghold with relative success, and I was able to locate at least one of the loyalists. He does minor illusion, and he shows the angry barbarian dude.
Jorah.
His name was
Yeah,
Jorah. I definitely met this one, and I'm sure the rest of them are somewhere else in the stronghold.
Kind of give a sneer towards his direction. Right. Well, if Jorah's there, then that certainly makes things easier for me, I suppose.
I'm not sure.
Well, I have one question for you, because there's a few ways that I can go about doing this. What did the town seem like?
The town did not appreciate their presence there. It seemed like even though they were cooperative, or at least they weren't at arms with each other, they did not seem to communicate with each other and work together, as if the presence of the loyalists were just kind of a hindrance sort of to their everyday life. Though the town people itself were, they were functioning. They were not like under captivity in particular, but they felt like definitely they were under pressure by the loyalist presence. So if you were to attack, the townsfolk will likely not get in your way, but they may also not support you. I'm not sure where they stand in that regard.
We'll have to see. I might send some riders into town and take stock of things and see if I can get some boys to come back and rally up with us, or at the very least keep things from getting too far into the town.
If you would like, I suppose, if I could take my party there and maybe help deal with some of the loyalists, though I'm sure you can handle it well on your own.
I'd like to
really
put my new friend to the test here and see what he can accomplish on his own. Him and his new elemental there, I think, could prove themselves in a way. Their usefulness, I'm sure they have more than all that flash to show us. I think we'll handle it, but I'll let you know if similar outbreaks of such events should break out in more local soils. I'll have you maybe rally them up or corral them up and take care of things once in a while, but I think we've got that.
That sounds good. You can always call upon us, the Fate Given, should you need.
Understood.
I guess to wrap up with the Queen story, I know you don't want to see her. She didn't particularly want to return here. She also said that she doesn't want to lead anymore, so I gave her a new life outside of Eastgard. I don't think she'll be. It's very possible you may never see her face again, but she is alive and well elsewhere.
Well, an unfortunate win-win then. That's what I'll call this. I won't pursue her unless she gives me any cause to do so. I don't think. I think we'll let things lie for now.
She is your sister after all, and if you ever want to contact her, I'd be willing to give her, I guess, contact or location should you feel the need to reconnect for some reason.
Adopted sister, but I appreciate the sentiment, yes. Very well. Well, I'll keep that in mind going forward. Well, I suppose you've all helped me quite a bit in the last few days. Averted war with one group, made friends with another. I wouldn't say avert war, just made it really easy on us. How's this? I can offer you a few things. I can offer you gold, I can offer you favors. Is there anything that I can do for you that you'd want from me?
I would like to have Eastgard as a source of materials, for I believe we'll have much to face and build in the future. If I can rely on Eastgard as a source of minerals and ore and other resources, that would be greatly appreciated. Many projects to be worked on in the future. I am, after all, an inventor, and I believe there's going to be a huge, very long path ahead of us and a Fate Given.
Understood. Well, I tell you what. Seeing as you're one of us anyway, why don't I just bring you into the fold around these parts, and I'll have a group sent out and we'll get a few things opened up in your name. I'm thinking a small mine of sorts, so that you can find yourself some sort of resources wherever you might be, and we can send forward those resources wherever you might be. If you'd like, I can also have you built a workshop of sorts, either attached or separate, in another part of the city. Not necessarily. I'm thinking somewhere down in... not mid-hill, lower. Farther out into Undrum Town, one of the connecting hills. What would you think of that?
That seems like it'd be a good idea. We can certainly discuss that more in the future. And if I may, one other request. The other thing I would like is, not now, maybe not even for some time, but I would like to rely on the power of some of the members here. In particular, your new general down the line. Ogrim, of course, is what who I referred to.
Yes.
I know you guys have still a lot to deal with, especially with the Zavid Horde looking your direction. But that's actually another thing we may try and help you resolve. We may go to the Zavid Nation itself or somewhere close by, and my goal is to divert their attention to a more northern, I guess, direction, and not towards here in the south. But I feel like I may need the powers of Ogrim in the future. So if you can have his uh his battle prowess
I'll lend
available
him if
for me
I
in the
have
future.
time. He'll be a busy lad in the coming days, but if you prove a good enough reason, I might send him and a few others your way. At the very least, you'll very possibly have some Comet Guard at the very least sent your way to help you out with whatever you have coming up. Should I,
That'd be-
again, have ample reason to throw them your way. I'm sure you'll think of something. Well,
That'd be most appreciated. Just out of curiosity, though, I don't know if you have decided on a station, but what is the fate of? God, what's his name? Oh my God, the previous general.
oh, Fragus. Yes, Genji Fragus.
Yes, Genji.
Well, he did well in his post, but at the end of the day, we have a better man for the job. He'll be fine. Just probably be positioned somewhere a little bit lower than he was. And still keep all his merits, things like that he earned during his service. Don't you worry. Still live to be old and fat, just like the rest of them. And who knows? I might need to replace Undrum, or not Undrum, Ogrim at some point. Anyway, I'll keep him close. Captain of a guard of some sort, or something like that. We'll see. I'll find work for him. Don't you worry.
Very well. Well, I guess that is all I needed to report to you today. And any of the, I guess, materials transferring, of course, that request in the future will be paid for. But if we can make it a more streamlined project ongoing forward, then that would be appreciated.
Oh, the mine should take you but a day to be built, in truth. Really ramshackle, easy type thing. It'll get built onto more. You'll have access to some supplies that'll come in once in a while, and you'll get your resources as you need them. Don't worry about that so much. We'll make sure it happens. One thing I will also hand forward, and he'll kind of reach down, and pluck out 4,000 gold to in different bags to roll towards your direction. For services rendered, you've done well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thaddeus will collect the gold,
Yep.
And then, well, if there's anything you should need from the Fate Given, feel free to call upon us in the future.
Give you a nod. Understood. All right. And you there, sir. What can I help you with? Can I look over to Greg finally?
Greg Meathook was just saying nothing this entire time and just staring straight ahead, not even looking at the king the entire conversation.
Yep.
But as soon as he acknowledges him, he turns his head to him. Who of your subjects is the smallest and inflammable?
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. And how many tons of meat would you trade them for?
At the opportunity for potential food, he'll kind of scratch his beard for a moment and think really long and hard about that question. Well,
He must be inflammable.
how tall are we talking here?
He needs to fit into a 4 feet by 4 feet box.
Oh, you'll find a lot of sorts like that around these parts. I recommend you check towards we've got a somewhat of an oil field, I'd say, down south. I'm sure you can find a young sort over there, who's used to the sort of work that you're looking for.
completely inflammable? That's the important bit.
Almost entirely, I'm sure.
Hmm. And what is the asking range of meat for them?
Mm, I'd like, you know, I think it depends, but I'll take a pig if you've got one. About a pig's meat, worth of meat if you've got it.
Don't
No?
have one currently in stock, but I could find one.
Understood. Well, I appreciate that. You've got some good friends there, Deus. I was
Oh yes,
intimidated by this man, but he's cultured, I see.
the most cultured.
Yes,
Good.
and then I stared straight ahead again, and say nothing.
He is from the Dune lands.
I noticed. All right. Well, those are your Martian orders. Do well. Thank you. I hope that our partnership continues very prosperously.
There we
All right.
go, Greg.
I get up all rigid like, and then I kind of like scoot sideways because this is like a dwarf hall.
Yeah, it's very tight. You make your way out of the castle. All right, and we return back to Fellows Hill. All right, Lorenzo, were you looking for anything in particular? Do you want to try to accomplish anything while you're in this town?
No, give me PTSD with the mine.
I'm sorry.
Out of a mine. No, not anything particular. I just wanted to take a look around. I mean, Lorenzo's hasn't really been out of Ilpica.
Arborat.
Sorry, Arbor.
You're
My
good.
bad.
You're good. It's been a while. It's been a while.
It's been a while. I'll go looking for like street gangs.
Okay, sure. Go ahead and make your investigation check. Low DC.
Okay.
I will say that you will find kind of one guy he fits the bill.
He just looks shady.
He looks shady. He's got like a little bit of some sort of regalia going on. Kind of this
Okay.
like blackish type of almost like leather, and you can see like some sort of like little faint emblem pressed in. And he's kind of just sitting near a bar.
Looking at him, does he look like he's armed, like secretly armed?
He is very openly armed. He's got this big
Openly armed?
long sword in front of him.
Oh, okay.
And he's got like this shaved head. He's got a kind of a fucking, you know what? I wasn't gonna do this at first, but I'm gonna just go with the bit in my head.
Are you making him a dwarf skinhead?
No.
Oh, okay.
You ever have a character that you just don't want to get rid of necessarily because making another one would be too much time?
Oh, Jakey. Okay.
Hold on, just one moment. I'm trying to find a man. But anyway, he's kind of standing there, and he's just paused. Seems to be thinking about something. He also looks a little drunk, and he kind of glances at you as you look at him for a little bit too long.
Okay. I'll approach him, and I'll lean against the wall next to him, without saying anything.
He'll kind of sniff. Is there something I can help you with, lad?
I'm not from around here, obviously.
Let me try that again. Go for it.
I looking for gentlemen of a certain persuasion. Not how do I how do I see?
You know, it's
Are you
funny
good?
though. It's
Try
funny.
to hire him for services?
It's funny that you see that because I knew a man who came in here asking the same question. We ended up being nice good friends. But he said it in the exact same way and snickered to himself as immediately afterward. All right. What are you looking for, lad?
What was he looking for?
Well, from what I gathered from his story, he was something of a, I don't know, male sex addict sort of.
Yeah, no, none of
serviceman.
not that at all.
No?
Actually,
Yeah.
no, more people who are loose with the rules, like to make money, not necessarily by the most legal persuasion.
So you're looking for loose dwarf men.
Understood. Well,
No, that could be taken the wrong way too, so I can't say that either. Grant.
I will say one thing. This is a rough town right now for folks like you to just be coming in here and looking around for folks like us. But I can tell you some stories. Maybe of some things I've heard. Be nice and vague about it, yes?
Yeah.
Around these parts, there's one gang. And they own the streets, they own all sorts of things. They just came into the king's pocket. That would be the Nat Harar.
Mm-hmm.
As things stand, if you're gonna do crime, and you're not with the Nat Harar, you've broken some very important rules. If you're looking for the Nat Harar, I can lead you to him. Sure. Maybe. For a price of sorts.
Oh, what's your asking fee?
Mostly information first. And then we'll see.
All right. What are you looking for? What do you want to know?
Well, I want to know firstly why you're looking.
I have connections to the. Oh God, Jakey, what's the guild information boys?
Oh, the Farseekers.
Farseekers. And I myself, I am a thug of, distant culture, let's say. And I am studying the other cultures of people with the said occupation.
Brigand specialist from the Farseekers Guild. That's an interesting concept, I must say. Well,
not to mention I have some friends that might be interested in making friends with people of the gray moral sort.
Understood. Well, why don't you and
It's mutually beneficial for both the guild and myself.
I can see the merit in it. Call me Mr. Clansong. You and I are going to have a chat. Let's come over here and we'll just have a nice long discussion about things like this and figure out, compare stories. And he'll lead you to an inn.
Right. And it's not the one we're standing by, I'm assuming.
What's up?
It's not the one we're standing by, I'm assuming.
No. He's standing on the corner of what looks to be like some sort of crafts shop of some sort. Yeah. As you guys walk away, make a perception check.
Okay. Just writing down some information on my sheet. Give me just a second.
Okay. All's well.
Nothing's wrong.
Nothing's wrong. You just don't notice some stuff. It's fine. All right. So he eventually takes you to this tavern, and we're gonna. This is funny. Nope. And nope.
Funny haha or funny ironic?
Funny for me, just because I get to repeat stuff that's already happened.
I see.
All right. God, I wish your character would just drag. You know what I mean?
Dude, I don't remember how I did it last time. I made it happen last time, and I don't remember how I did it.
You
felt
highlighted
like it was
something, right?
Yeah, I feel like I highlighted the thing, and then I just dragged it from there, but it didn't work this time.
All right. Just next time. Send me your token so I can just drag them in, I guess. Manually, if it never, if it doesn't work in the future for some reason.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We're good. Actually, you know what? I'm not able to drag anybody in right now. So you're gonna be OG Marin. You're gonna be Marin before he has like all the tattoos and stuff.
Ooh, I mean, he always had the tattoos.
Not the token though.
Yeah.
There you go.
Screen is black for me.
Is it now?
Still black.
Still black? Okay, okay. I will set this to everybody. Controlled by all players.
Not black.
You walk into
Can't
this bar with him. You see a couple not familiar faces, but familiar enough vibes as to a sort of gang run bar. A couple folks here and there kind of give you almost a matching passing glance as you walk through. And you see a look of recognition between the bartender and the man who's with you right now. And they lead you over to this sort of bar area. God damn it. I'm going to have a conniption. There we go. And there's Vela. There we go.
That's a big dwarf.
Yeah, he's not that big. Not right now, at least.
Did Vela?
This is Mr. Clan's song. I'm trying to get another character in.
I see.
But he doesn't want to. She doesn't want to come.
There's other people in the other parties that actually talk to the nasty types.
Oh yes. God damn it. Okay, there we go. There she is. Yeah. They kind of wave you over, and you approach, and he kind of leads you over to the bar. And they kind of sit you down. You see a couple different, like, mercenary sorts. This seems to be like kind of a meeting place almost. Not necessarily for crime, but just for rougher sorts of folks. The first thing that they kind of do is they kind of lead you in. You take a seat. Clansong looks over to this bartender, gives him a nod, and the two of them, he pours 2 drinks, one for each of you, as you sit down. The first thing that I should introduce you to, this is Mr. Ardend. Gives you a nod, kind of stern look. This is sort of a meeting place. This is our mixing hall, where we check up on folks, make sure things are nice and straight. It's important for us to not be so ruthless, unlike some other bandits that we've heard of over the years. Keep it formal, in a way. Not so... I had somebody come in my room. Hold on. Not so violent. You know, there's no need for these sorts of things all the time. Open yourself to the community. That's what we think. Have a sense of familiarity with the folks that you can have it with. We know just about everybody who comes into these bars, these establishments, all over town. Keep track of things like that. It allows you to become essential, in a way. And then they can't get rid of you. What were things like on your end of the wood? Where are you from?
I am from the Adanya, the lands of Adanya. I mean, it's a constant warring state. Our people are constantly preparing and are prepared for war. I am the child of a noble, of a minor noble. So, I mean, don't get any ideas.
Kind of give
But,
a nod. It's not in our way to be overly cruel to those from out of town, necessarily. We'll keep that in mind, though. Noble son, turned bandit. That's quite the story.
Yeah, it's something. I found myself working in the Grove. I don't know if you're familiar.
I haven't heard much of it, no. It's a bit far away.
It's a bit of a it's more it's like a Feywild, right?
Yeah.
Like a Fey forest.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm going to describe it as. Many cutthroats and bandits, plenty of people who want to take the coin of, the average passer. That wasn't really my goal. I live more by the moral of the... Oh, God. Hold on.
You trying to think of Samuel Ray?
Yes, sir. The
Yeah.
Thief King of Catalina.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's more where my morals sit.
When you bring up that name, they'll kind of give a chortle. Well, that's a story that's made its way out this far. How old are you, lad? How old did you say you are?
About 20.
Yeah.
Little over.
Well, from a couple of thieves to you, why don't you keep that story in the back of your head? It's best that you stay in that mindset, I would say.
I'm not much for bloodshed.
Good. Good. It's
Well,
bad
I'd
for
love to
business at the end of the day.
Hear the stories of your fellow things, and if you'd like to, pass a culture on, I mean, I'm archiving it.
Well, let's get into the history of our group then.
All right.
We're known as, in Dwarvish translation, the Night Lords. We have that name not to bestow any sort of fear. No, it's simply that we quite literally tend to work best and most often within the night. We have our daytime lords, our king, and then there's the Night Lords. One rules at the top of the hill, the other rules at the bottom. We got that name from our leader, who now works for the king. Good for him. Ogram Knoll. Powerful guy. Crazy. Recently reined in, to our dismay. That's all right. Things are looking up for us, if anything. See, things in Eastgard have been tumultuous. This city that you're in, actually, is only about 20 years old. Most of it's very new. Hill dwarves in this side of the world have not been around since, well, until just recently. 20 years. Second placement. Start of the second verse brought us all around here, and we've had to make families, on the spot, things like that. People looked for leadership all over. And
How old
so,
are these dwarves, by the way?
What's up?
How old are these guys?
They're old.
Okay.
You can, not old men, but they're like getting to be they're middle aged.
Well aged.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So they were placed right.
They're like
these
50s.
These were not naturally born dwarves.
They're dwarves, so they're older than 50. They're like 80s.
They're I think they live to be like what 250 most dwarves or something like that, or is it 400?
I don't remember.
It's around 250
It's
years.
250.
It's
I
about
thought
250.
we're all immortal in the sense that there's no old
Yeah,
age.
people do not die of age anymore. That's true. Of old age. Nor natural like wildlife and stuff like that, which is why some trees grow to be infinitely large, and some wild animals grow to be infinitely large, and why some people grow to be infinitely large. It is a problem, but it's also the ecosystem of this world. It's just how it works.
It's also a new world, so it's not too big of a problem yet, I guess.
Not quite yet. No, it's a very empty place. I think the most populous race is about 400,000 strong. And they're frogs. So as we were working on getting things together, we found a few things that worked in our society, and a few things that didn't quite make sure everybody was fed, things like this. So we go around, we make sure ends meet, skim off the top. Nice and simple. We're essential. You understand? We make sure that the citizens stay nice and calm. No problems for the king, nothing like that. But more importantly, we make our money. We make sure that we can feed our own families. Move things forward a little bit for everybody. Grease the wheels, you know? And we've been doing that for years now. It's worked for the most part.
Right. So I may at some point come back. I know I'm a bit of an oddball, but I may come back and learn from you guys. I haven't exactly been taught by the best. Most of the bandits that I like I said, cutthroats that come to mind is the word that comes to mind. So at some point I might come back and learn a thing or two and observe your whole operation if you'd have me, and make myself useful for you guys. Obviously, I'm not gonna.
Under certain circumstances, we'll see. As I said, things are evolving a little bit for us, so that might not be so big of a deal in the future.
Keep it in mind. My name is Lorenzo, by the way.
Lorenzo. All right. Well, you can call me Ori Clansong, and this here is Bankri Ardand.
God damn it.
There's like 4 dwarves named Ori, so don't worry about that. And Snorri.
You said, oh, I can't let go of an old face. I know.
No. This is Ori from this campaign.
Okay.
This is like, we've already talked to Ori for like 30 episodes now at this point, so this was just a recap, I guess, introducing this character over here for Greg to hear about and for you to hear about. So
right. Greg is not inside the bar.
I know, but you the human have just heard this information about these characters.
Greg assumed he wanted alone time with men dwarves.
Men dwarves. Understood. All right. They kind of bid
Greg totally understands.
They bid you good day. You're free to move as you like. You finish your drink. They charge you 2 silver.
Whoa, that's fucked up. I thought it was on the house.
No. Actually, 4 silver. They make you pay for Ori's as well.
Oh wow, they double played me. Fuck.
Yeah.
Truly are thieves.
Yes. All right. Anything else you guys want to accomplish within Fellows Hill, or do we want to head back or somewhere else? It's up to you guys.
I'll resolve it after a session because it's like Thaddeus stuff.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll certainly have the time now. Thank God.
Nice.
So we can do that right after session. No big deal. Cool. And I'll fill you in on what the details of the mine and things like that are. But if you've read the Primina's thing, it'll kind of work on that, but also you can use it for normal crafting rules as well.
Okay.
So you can take it either way with that.
I kind of want to ask Erican for crafters as well. I don't know if he would have any power.
He doesn't have I mean, he can command people to do that sort of thing, but you're better off just looking for like artisans, things like that, and you can just find them if you want to make an investigation check and find some folks. What are you trying to look for? What kind of crafter?
Arcane and tinkering.
Okay. So I have updated. I think it's the same price. All I'm going to charge you now is 2 gold per day per person. For somebody skilled in that training. If they're unskilled, then it will be 2 silver. So very cheap, but chance of failure. So chance that they don't accomplish anything.
Sorry, I just want expertise. So
Expertise is going to be. We'll bop that up to 5 then.
5 GP per day per person.
Yep.
What? But they're not one person. They're like a group or something.
If it's expertise, then yeah, they come with extra people too.
And then, okay, I'm just gonna. Is this like a general pricing, or is it?
That's basically what you're just gonna get for now on for pricing. Yeah, that's like
Okay.
for any skill or any tool. That's basically what it's gonna be.
I'm gonna look for as many as I can, and I'm gonna use my passive influence, if possible, to do so.
Make your investigation check.
Ah, that's right. Investigation. Can I guidance this?
You can guidance it. That's fine.
Sweet.
7.
Oh,
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
So with an 8, I will let you get 1 guy with expertise, and then he will come along with. He'll have like 4 apprentices that are not trained in anything just yet, but 1 guy who is also trained. So a grand total of 7 gold, because the 4 guys that you get that are untrained are free.
7 GP per day, and how much am I getting? 1 expertise guy.
1 expertise guy, 1 trained guy, 4 non-trained guys.
Okay.
And which
Is
one was
there-
that for? You can divvy. That was, if you want the 1 trained guy to be in a different thing, that's fine. But otherwise, the 1 guy that you do find that's trained or he has expertise, he comes with the 4 free ones. So divide those into the 2 skills that you want them to be in. You know what I mean?
So can they have Arcana proficiency as well as Tinkers?
No.
That's all I really need.
Is
No, they can't. Okay.
No, you got to have 2 different crews.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
These are
So they're
basically just commoners that you're hiring. Otherwise, it's going to cost you like how the new pricing works for hiring people out. It'd be like 140 per person per day for like somebody that has multiple proficiencies. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a big jump.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Let's make them Arcana. All Arcana then.
All Arcana sounds good to me.
Okay.
All right. Easy enough. Alrighty.
Can I don't know if it's possible, but I want to drop some money on a place that trains crafters. Or basically,
Like
I want to
invest?
invest in future crafters.
How much are you investing?
Dogs.
Stocks, truly.
I got some money. Let's drop 1,000 gold.
1,000 gold. Okay. Into what sort of place of training?
Like which proficiency?
Which proficiency, or are you looking to make like an investment in a like general crafting guild or college or school type thing? Like, what are we looking at here?
It would probably be focused on Arcana and Tinkering, if possible.
Okay.
Specifically those
So
two.
like a almost like a Primina, like completely focused, like thematically, right? Not necessarily focused on that, but okay.
Like they don't have to worship her, but it's basically that.
What we'll say is with 1,000 gold, what I will allow you to do is give you access here to not necessarily a steady stream, but there will be some folks that you can find now here always. You'll gain first of all, I need you to gain. How much fame are you at right now in Fellows Hill?
Let's check. Eastgard fame. I'm at 7.
Okay, pop that up to 10.
Okay.
Greg and Lorenzo, you gain 1 fame or infamy, up to you. As Lorenzo, you have met the Nut Harar, and they've kind of made contact with you. And Greg, you went and spoke to the king, and he kind of knows who you are now.
Guess that would be fame.
Okay. And we'll say that for finishing off the storyline, and then also investing this much money, you can bop yourself up to 10 fame in Fellows Hill. And we'll figure out what that does in a minute here. But
for me, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what. Yeah, I thought that's what I said. What is the one fame thing for Fellows Hill? Do you have that written down?
Let me check if I did.
If you don't, I know a couple of people who do.
Scar frame one. I got perception in a boost in perception.
+1.
Yeah, plus something.
Okay,
I don't remember how much
it's a
was.
+1 then. So
Okay.
go ahead and permanently increase your perception by +1. I'll do that for you, Greg. Just a flat bonus is what you basically get. I'll mark it. Do you have a place where you're keeping track of fame and things like that? I guess not. Not yet. We'll get to that later.
I was just doing that.
Okay. Then go ahead and write it down wherever you want, wherever is most comfortable for you. Lorenzo, are you getting fame or infamy?
I'll take an infamy.
Infamy, fun. Okay. In which case it is, I believe, +1 to stealth, right? I'll have to check Bran, I think.
I'm talking to the underground. I feel like it's a bit more.
Yeah. I think infamy fits. I would agree. I just always give the option because I don't want to step on anybody's feet with how they want to make their character. Necessarily, but I think a +1 to perception is always good. Eastguard, +1 to stealth rolls. I'm so fucking good. So go ahead and Lorenzo, you get a +1 to stealth. Yeah. All right. Good. Everyone else, you got that going. Okay, so what I was going to say now is, you will always be able to find craftsmen here, at that spot where people will be trained in, at the very least, you'll have people trained in both of those skills to work with you and things like that. Not both of them at the same time, the same person, but both skills will be available to you from different people. And then if you want to do the very expensive option, you will be able to hire a collection of mages that also have proficiency in training with that sort of stuff. I will give you a roster of people that you can hire from, basically, in the future.
Okay, I'll ask you more about this stuff after session, I guess.
Yep. We'll have a lot to go through with how things are developing on my end. So,
okay,
fun. All right, cool. Anything else that you guys have going on? Anything you want to do next in this area?
I'm good.
Okay,
Don't have anything for hero.
sounds good to me. Deus, anything else? Any last?
Nothing I'll do during a session. I'll do it like after.
Okay, sounds good to me. Then you can collect yourselves and return back after a short while to Halhazar. You guys pass through the gateways again, or use your stone. Either way, you end up in the same place, either within the temple or within the crossroads of the capital city. What is your next play?
We need to find faces of the Umbral Call. I thought of one idea. I don't know if it's a good idea, though. We can bait them in thinking there's a fake given. Since they're hunting fake given, they'll go after this bait, and we can draw them out.
Well, do we want to ambush lackeys, or do we want to actually, like, get the core?
I mean, ideally we find a boss, but one way to get to the boss is to go through their lackeys. Though we don't know how willing that there will be to talk.
I think.
Are you skilled in torture, Greg? Sorry, it's a random
Or-
question.
We create our own cult and force them to have a cult war with us.
I don't know if they'll be drawn to such a thing. They do like to keep their presence very well hidden. It is a very dangerous city for them to be in here.
Oh, it's a prime city because it has people.
Are the fate given not a cult?
You know, you could call it a fake given a call. we are technically, you can label it as a cult.
What? What? Okay. What is your idea for bait?
I don't know a good way to execute it. I have bad ideas, like making this entity, whether living or non-living, just for their own safety, spread rumors that this entity is a fake given, and then see if they get tracked, attacked, stalked, all that.
Entity? Are you talking about your like clone thing?
Oh, I suppose I could use him. I
I'm
didn't even
just
think of
confused.
that.
When you said entity, I was just confused what you meant.
It could be any creature. We just have to label them as a fake given, make it known to the public, I suppose, and then hopefully catches the ears of the the Umbro Call, and they take action. But who knows? Maybe they'll send a different group to attack this entity, and they won't reveal themselves, so it might not work.
I think it has holes. I think we are better off starting our own investigation in the city. Kicking the beehive a little bit, get them buzzing.
How do you propose we begin doing so?
Casual stroll around the city is never a bad thing.
It is a very big city. We'll definitely
It'll
find.
be a big stroll.
Have you fought these cult members before?
We have some cult members in the. Out of character question. Where's the Amber prison? Is it below us or is it outside?
The Amber Prison is beneath the Chantry of the Dawn.
Okay, so it is below us. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll say we do have some. I guess we have the only two captive members that we know of below us in the Amber prison. I don't.
We could
know,
press them for information.
We could, but they are also situated in Eastgard, where I captured them. So I don't know if they'll know of any of the presence here. But I mean, if you want to try talking to them, I can lead you to them.
I mean, we can at least try to figure out what the business is. Why?
All right,
big-
I'll go talk to them.
All right, very well.
Why the big names are here in Alhazar?
We can try. I guess I'll take him. Actually, no. I think the eye is dead. We only have one guy, and she's even lower than on the ranking system than the eye. Anyway, I'll lead him to the Amber prison if that's possible. If they're taking visitors.
Jib, get me 2 tubs of milk.
All right.
I toss him like 5 gold.
It's like so much money. He's just like, all right, and he goes off. How? Just like buckets of milk?
Tubs.
Tubs of milk. Okay, then that's probably about right then. That's actually scarily accurate. Hold on. Wait a second. I think that's like exactly as much. Okay, that's fucking weird. All right, that's fine. They'll come back eventually with 2 tubs of milk.
All right.
I'm like
Start
freaking
hauling
out.
that into the dungeon.
Oh
no.
no. All right. Is the eye dead? I don't know if I shot him in the face yet or not, to be honest with you.
He was shot and resurrected and shot again? I don't remember what his fate was. It's been a while.
I think, you guys went to the Shadowfell to get his soul back because I shot him in the head. And then he didn't want to come back the second time, I think. But I think he's alive still. I think he's just in the Amber prison.
Didn't the Warden's soul take him somewhere? I don't remember what happened.
I think the Warden's soul took him to the Amber prison and has just been holding him there. I think.
I remember we went to Adanya. Did he take him there or no?
Yes. And then she traveled back with him.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So he is here.
He is
Okay,
here.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right. All right. So, yeah, you've got both the eye and his little lackey, right? Stalingard?
Yeah.
They're both alive, I'm pretty sure.
Looking for their names.
There's Rendar Unkalon and Gapra Stalingard.
Yes. I'm looking for their notes now. Hold on.
Yeah. You're good. And you know what? This is good. This is like a lore dump, potentially. For
I
for a
love
couple.
lore dump.
Yeah. Well, for the new and the old boys. So this is good. All right. As you try to approach this amber prison, one of the attendants of this area kind of notices you and approaches this. Let's see, actually. Okay. Kind of a she's like a darker skinned human woman, almost like a nice olive. Notices you approach. What business do you have within the amber prison today?
What was that?
Oh, I'm sorry. What business do you have within the amber prison today?
What was that? And I turn off my car.
Oh, yes.
And I start unloading the tubs of milk in front of her and gathering various tools like a billow, pliers, some sort of waxy kind of epoxy.
Interrogation, then. Very well.
Yes.
This subject in mind, do you have a name?
I only got cultists.
Understood.
Yes. We're looking for a Rendar Unkalon.
All right. Yes.
Yes, him.
I will prepare his chambers, and you're to do as see fit. That being said, we're not going to actually on-screen torture this man, but we will imply it.
Oh,
Very fun.
okay. I was gonna have fun with that.
Well, you can you can have fun with it, just not super fucking gigographic, disgusting shit.
Well, I'll tell you at least the intro. It's pretty much I start dragging the tubs of milk and just like place it in front of them, and then I'll get a chair and I just sit in the chair and then
Yep,
just
that's
stare
fine, that's
directly at them. Let them stew for a little while of like, what the hell's going on? And then like once they start panicking a little bit, I look at towards the milk and whatnot, and I'll discuss plans.
Yeah. He is bound in a couple different ways right now. Being a caster, he does have like this thing over his mouth to not allow him to speak.
And most of his fingers broken.
His hands are in like these iron like balls right now, basically.
Right.
He is basically like he's fucked. Like he can't do anything right now. And he's got like visible wounds on his head too. And yeah, he looks like he's already been through the ringer a couple times here, so he's kind of looking like at this new face who just brought in tubs of fucking milk, and he is like
the face, I have a mask.
He's like not in the face, he's looking at this the mask's face, and he's like visibly like sweating already, just like horrified.
I'll even brace myself up while he's looking at me.
Yeah, he is. You see like a tear.
So what do you want me to roll for that?
Make intimidation with advantage. Also, like the DC's, like I'm gonna be honest with you, like 5.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So information-wise, he's gonna absolutely spill his shit.
So yeah, it was 21.
Yeah, 21. Yeah, he starts to cry. So, however you want to proceed from here is up to you. If you want to get information or if you want to let him stew for a bit, that's up to you.
Well, first you have to let him stew for a bit, and then you get the information.
Yep.
Pretty much his entire life story of how he joined the cult and whatnot.
Sure. After the piece around his mouth is removed, he begs for a while. and eventually comes to speak about what you're asking
Well,
about.
depending on how far we got into torture, either vomiting milk.
Yes. I don't think you would have needed to go very far. But
Okay.
it's up to you, of course, Greg, how far you get with this guy. Unkalan reveals to you that he's actually always been a killer. He was a part of a Varetian kill squad
Nothing wrong with that.
during the deepest parts of their war against the Drow, where they were doing like some really, really abhorrent shit. And eventually one day he found himself doing the very same thing that he was doing in Megadia within his own home nation. And that drove him pretty crazy. And so he wanted to find, he went on this watch, and he got very mad. And he tells you about a time he met a man with no eyes who went by the name of King Ire. And the way he describes King Ire is a being that fills you with fear and an uncanny fury just by seeing them. It makes you restless. And he kind of looks away for a while after kind of like remembering like the figure that he was talking about. He describes being lost and finding and being taken in by this King Ire and being told of a way to bring about a better world for him, to fix the things that he had done wrong, to fix himself. A way out. And he goes into sort of the doctrine of the Umbral Call, of a chance to reset the universe, of a chance to make everything that was wrong right again. And all that needs to happen is this world needs to be destroyed. To save...
Are there any other people that King Ire was taking care of?
Kind of nods. A couple others. He mentions a few. The Four Fists. A couple other figures alongside. Let's see. Yeah, he mentions by name the Four Fists. Two of the Eyes. There was another eye besides him, who was under King Ire. The Third Heart.
A total of 3 eyes or 2 eyes?
4 eyes, 6 eyes total, actually.
6 eyes total.
So, yes. So 2 eyes for sorrow, 2 eyes for joy, and 2 eyes for ire. And he was one of the eyes of ire.
Uh-huh.
The claws and the fangs were also serving under him. And he lists off a variety of other members without rank. Necessarily just weaker cult members of this group. Figures like an elven man from Eldaria, different things like that. Somebody he mentions of considerable note is there's in fact one of the locals he mentions, not a name, but the son of what he thought to be a prospective figure of interest within the political sphere of Halhazar.
Mm-hmm. So does your cult normally recruit from higher class people?
Kind of nods his head. Not necessarily, no.
Not necessarily. What was the poorest person that you really knew of in the cult?
Kind of laughs and he gestures towards himself a little bit with whatever he can.
You as the officer of another nation.
He was when they found him, he was covered in his own filth and a madman. You know, he was rich before then, or not rich, but well off enough.
Who hasn't been there?
Yeah. But people.
I remember many of times where I was covered in my own filth.
Different figures have been found in different states of extreme emotion. It seems like ire picking from some of the angriest, most unhinged people, sorrow from the most depressive, sad, and joy from the most manic, insane.
Mm-hmm.
So you said pick.
Yes, like these people were recruited. Yeah.
So they're the Umbral Call, even though it's like anti-fate given, they're not born to be.
No, they're not born to necessarily be Umbral Call, but they possess extreme skill and gifts. He describes gifts given to him to them, but not something that is a birthright.
I'm definitely letting Greg do this. I needed to butt in on that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
A scene like this is tricky for me to roleplay because yeah, it's all good. It's all good. But I'm just trying to get you guys. Well, I'm also trying to give you guys as cohesive of information as I possibly can.
I've thought of something else we could do after this interrogation to find them. I can discuss it once we're done.
So, you didn't know any of their actual names?
No, he does not. He especially does not know the names of any of the most of the people who had like minor titles and things like that were called things like they kind of came up with their own nomers, like the angry wind, or the hatred, or something like that, until they actually were given like one of these body part titles, like the hands, the fists, the claws, things like that, the eyes.
Yeah. Every time he gives like a negative answer or something like that, I'll just like not say anything for like 5 to 10 seconds while breathing heavily, and then I go, all right.
Yeah. And he'll swear. He'll swear up and down. But he will note that he did not have much of a chance to begin his work that he wanted to do. He did not have much of a chance to be as good of a soldier as they wanted him to be.
What was your primary task?
His primary task was to, in fact, kill Fate Given that were children before they could grow up and realize their powers.
Much easier if you get them as babies.
That was the plan. And he succeeded once.
Alright. I guess I'm satisfied with that. I give him a little doggy bag of the whatever clean milk is left.
He cries.
Are we done here?
Yes.
I mean,
alright. It seems like they're recruiting from at least middle class.
So is that the reason they're in Hal Hazard? Did we ask that?
No, I don't think you guys got to that. You could. You can continue if you guys think you missed stuff.
If you guys want to ask that, you could ask that. I know why they're here.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna ask him specifically. Like, why have the eyes been seen in Hal Hazard?
So he'll talk about once Sorrow himself almost destroyed the world.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that was a battle that Marin and 4 others fought
Oh,
within the Chantry of the Dawn against Sorrow. And they were very close to losing.
okay.
Oh,
Sorrow himself defeated them. They did not die, but they were out and about. And then he was stopped by something unseen and was destroyed before he could get to his destination, which was the heart of Aelinor. So their target is the Chantry. And it seems like just Sorrow alone was enough to get in. At least then. Now there are more fate given.
I think that
So-
gives some merit to us staying here.
well, they have more protection now, but getting to the heart of Aelinor would be an easy way to destroy the planet, and Alazar, though well protected, is one of the closest way to get directly to the heart. So, I thought of something. We know what their goal is. We know that they want to bring back Chronepsis and therefore end Asgarath. So, let's try to think in their shoes a little bit. If I was an Umbral Call member, I would try to think of ways to bring them back, and at the same time, ways to weaken Asgarath. So, what would I look into to weaken both the dragon god creator as well as bring back the dragon fate ender? There might not be much text, if any, but if we look into Chronepsis, we may be able to find what they are after.
If you have these questions, you should ask him now.
I don't know if he would know, but I suppose.
There's only one way to find out.
But
All
I mean,
I know is that they're looking for a new Eye of Ire.
I'm gonna ask the eye then, I guess. What method did you use to find the fate-given children?
He mentions that Sorrow, after he was resurrected, was able to gain access to the soul of a seer. He kind of stumbles on the name for a minute there, but he remembers the last name Vol. And using that, he would get basically names, targets, ideas of where people are, a rough description of appearance, and they'd be able to act on that intelligence.
That's right. At the beginning of my journey, I was also seeking Janice Vol.
That is a name that immediately resounds within Pinpin and Lorenzo's ears, as those were the people who first. That was the man who met you within Outermere about 30 years ago.
Okay.
For your first.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Am I on the search for Janice Vol again?
I suppose 20 years ago.
The reason why I stopped seeking out Vol was because we were able to get the protection I required to continue on my adventure, which was a blessing from the Raven Queen herself. Janice Vol being a seer and can sense the location of the current generation fate given, I didn't feel safe leaving the city, which is why we were able to get the assistance of the Raven Queen to veil us, and therefore we were out of sight of the seer. However, if we can somehow find the seer again, it would definitely be with King Sorrow, I presume. Though, if I were to guess, the seer would probably be in the Glasslands. But who knows? It's been a while since I've been looking for this individual.
So wait, what exactly happened to him? Like where?
So Janice Vol dies, natural causes, old age. Not really old age, but the equivalent. Basically, he is the type of entity that he is takes such a toll that he eventually went like blind. And he showed like the signs of basically natural age regression. And he eventually passed away. After that passing, Sorrow was able to gain access to his soul, and people were immediately alerted to his soul not reaching the Raven Queen because he was such an important entity that they were keeping an eye on, like, to make sure he basically got there. They were watching to make sure that the Raven Queen received him, and she never did.
Understood.
So he was intercepted at some point, and now revealed, I think previously, or if not right now, that King Sorrow had gained access to that soul somehow. And has basically been using that as a compass to kill.
I see.
Which is a new song name. I'm gonna write that down.
I guess I'll ask the Eye. What do you know about Sorrow's abilities?
He describes basically the powers of an archmage able to resurrect themselves from death. A strategist. Very cunning.
Lich?
Possibly a lich. From what you get from the description, yeah.
How did he get Vol's soul?
He doesn't know.
So much mystery behind this entity.
So, okay. I can ask him exactly, like... Right. How do I put this? Alright. So what is the Umbral's Call's goal with Chronepsis? Do you understand it? Do you know what it is?
Yeah. So as if they
not
bring...
you. No, the prisoner. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the prisoner will speak that by basically the goal is to destroy Illinor. By doing that, Asgareth has nothing to fight for anymore. And it's basically drawing him out to unite the Io or Asgareth and Chronepsis. All they need is Asgareth. To basically cause the multiverse to reset itself. It would purge everything, and either life would come back sustained, some things might survive to the end, but basically the idea is that the Sundered themselves would all be defeated and ripped from this reality should Chronepsis gain that sort of power. Because he is the actual, like, he's a dragon of void power, which is not something that even Asgareth has power over. Okay. And basically he would trump Nemetis, even in strength, if Chronepsis was to gain that sort of power. But it would also rewrite all of history. Or not, well, yeah, everything. Everything would be rewritten. All history would be forgotten.
Or trump Nemetis in power.
Yes.
Does the opposite apply with the tenfold dragon?
Yeah, because the thing with the tenfold dragon is that is Io. Io being the tenfold dragon would basically defeat Nemetis, like, into submission. But he wouldn't have the control over pure void like Chronepsis would.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So, if history is rewritten, you say that Chronepsis can kill Metis and rewrite history. Does that make Nemetis die and then history exist without Nemetis?
Yes, the next reality will exist without Nemetis. That will not be an entity that exists anymore.
But we also don't know if history will restart.
Yeah, it's also uncertain as to whether or not the cosmos will actually form after that. They don't know, but he believes that that is the case.
Okay. I mean,
I think we discussed that we're not against Crenepsis, but we're not necessarily with Crenepsis.
yeah, we did. I just wanted to
Yeah.
double clarify. In that, if things come to it, I mean, I guess if the Fate Given lose, we could always try the Umbral Call way.
I agree, but only if we lose.
This is the optimist in Lorenzo.
Yeah. No, I consider this. It is an option I would consider. Not that I would take, but I would consider. Or rather, I would consider taking in desperate times.
So I ask him. I straight to his face. I'm going to ask him. Are we better off looking here in Hal Hazar, or in the Glasslands for the rest of the Umbral Call?
On that one, I'm gonna need you to make some sort of charisma check with advantage, because that is him,
Maybe Greg can do another intimidation.
Greg can do an intimidation, that's fine too. But I need some sort of roll for that specific information, because that is like the keystone. What do we do next? You know what I mean?
Greg!
I'm still like scooping up for the doggy bag. What?
He's being uncooperative.
Do you want this doggy bag or not?
He starts shaking his head violently, no.
And I think you should answer my question. I jump in on that.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll it.
I mean, I can do
Right.
intimidation.
Either one. Doesn't matter to me.
Greg is probably better.
I take a sip of the milk.
I have really high charisma. I feel like it's more appropriate if Greg does it.
Oh, am I rolling charisma?
Intimidation, please, with advantage.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I just realized I have the same intimidation, so even though I don't have proficiency.
15.
15? Okay. Yeah. You kind of thinks for a while. If you want certain death, that's Glasslands. Because once you're there and once you find their keep, if you can find their keep, if you can survive the Glasslands, they're sure to hunt you down, like in full force. But if you're strong enough, that's the most direct route to ending the conflict, right? Or figuring out a way, maybe not necessarily direct force, but maybe you have another plan to destroy them. If you want a more easy approach...
Does the cult know you're alive?
He'll say he doesn't know. He has no idea. He'll say he probably knows.
He's supposed to report to King Ire once a month. I don't think it's been a month or the end of the month yet.
No, I mean, I think it's been like almost 2 weeks in campaign time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has he had a public trial yet?
I don't think he will be getting one.
No, I think the lady behind you, who like let you into the cell, laughs and says, "We don't do that here."
He is a terrorist of the absolute type. After all. So what was the easy method you were gonna say?
The easier method would be to more systematically try to post up in different areas and actually try to nip whatever you can, either getting access through member to member or setting traps for people. But it would be, he says it's an almost impossible task either way to get the kings and the queen.
Do they have anything built up here in Hal Hazar that we could... Any base of operation?
I don't think he would know. I think
Okay.
they don't. He actually does not know. But he knows that there is an operation in Helhazar.
Have you been to the Glasslands before?
He'll nod. Yeah, he
Probably
has.
above his pay grade.
Where in the Glasslands are they?
He will say. Hold on. It's just deleted the map. All right. It's like far northeast of Kree. And he kind of talks about this like giant mountain that's been hollowed out.
Giant. Far.
I'll show you the map. I say the word Kree and don't have much idea of what that means, I guess.
Ah, okay.
You see where the A in Glasslands is?
Yeah.
That's probably where it is, I would say.
Oh, the A's a mountain. Perfect.
Perfect.
Well, if we were to assault them directly, we know where they are now. But I don't think it's a good idea as of yet. I feel like they will easily outpower us. Sorrow himself is extremely powerful. Probably the second most powerful entity I've met so far.
Okay. So you say this guy doesn't know where it is, but does he know at least what's going on here? Like, are they what kind of preparations are they making?
It's more okay, that he would know based on what I rolled earlier. And he knows it's more of it's sort of a plot, a manipulation plot. Trying to disparage people.
Okay. Damn. I was hoping for something more tangible. We can locate weapons. It's hard to locate a plot.
I think I actually, well, maybe not to you. I would look around. That's me.
All you
the
need to
DM
do
saying.
is look under the shirt.
So we know they're looking for Fate Given. We also know they're trying to destroy Eleanor. And we also know they're trying to resurrect Chronepsis. Or bring him back to reality of some sort. We know what they want, but we don't know how to get to them still, I suppose. We start making a rumor that we know a way to Eleanor's heart. It would sound so suspect to even the everyday citizen here.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot to go on here. There's not a lot to go on there. That sounds like death. This sounds like an uphill task at the moment, but I mean, we haven't really done anything about it.
I will say something I want to do, even if it's out of my own curiosity, and it would be pretty difficult to conduct this research. I want to look more into Chronepsis. I'm going to, I suppose, search here first. This is, after all, the temple for the 3 grand dragon gods of the current existence.
I'm sure the Books of Ada song, or I'm sure there's an archives here somewhere.
Well, I'm gonna go off and find whatever I can. If you want to join me, that's up to you. If not, then I'll meet you gentlemen later.
Greg,
Alright.
is there anything you'd like to do?
Well, I was thinking about framing the crime of killing that baby with me, and then I temporarily go insane, kill a few guards, and then have the eyeless guy king recruit me as an Eye of Ire.
Jesus Christ.
Hmm.
It's psychotic.
I know.
You know, could you do it without killing the guards? Maybe.
Gotta make it believable. I'm pretty sure the king has some people that he wants executed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll just rip one of them apart.
That's just fucked up.
You could attach a tail onto it and call it a weasel.
That was like a real Borderlands moment. I don't know what the fuck you meant by that. All right.
I don't know what you just
It's
said
like a
to
meat
me.
bicycle thing. All right.
That was a meat bicycle.
All right. If you guys want to, you can come up with your own separate plots right now and act on them. That's
Okay.
how we can basically play this out. Anybody who wants to team up for that kind of stuff, that's fine. But basically, this will come down to a collection of different types of evidence, a process of making plots and devising schemes to figure out what you can do to take down this group, however you want to do so. And also then the collection of information for
Well,
Chronepsis.
right now, I guess I'll go with Deuce to the library because my plan will need at least 2 weeks to be fully enacted.
I'm
Oh.
sure we can iron out the kinks in it.
Well, if you're gonna join me in the library, feel free. I'm gonna actually talk to, if I can,
Right.
get an audience with not Adasong, the other guy,
Spirit Code,
Spirit God.
the one who's alive.
Yeah.
He'll welcome you in. No problem, because I think it's like later midday, right? At this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing I can't remember is have I told Spirit God about Chronepsis and all that stuff? I think I have. I can't remember. It's been too long. Like real lifetime.
If you didn't, I'm pretty sure Jimbo did.
Okay.
I think that god has been mentioned to him, if not by you guys, then by somebody else. And I don't even mean a player when I say that.
Okay. I'm just gonna. If not, I'm just gonna quickly recap what we know.
Yeah.
Because I'm willing to share with him all the Umbraclaw information.
Kind of put his fingers together as you're mentioning all this stuff.
Like I'm just gonna share what the Umbraclaws are really after.
Yeah.
You know what they've done in the past, and the fact that we're looking for them now. I'm gonna ask him, what do you know about Chronepsis?
Well, what I do know about such an entity as that is he is one of the few beings that I believe are able to persist within those far-off stars. One of the only living creatures that was able to resist the effects of Nemesis. I don't know necessarily that much about their history. I'm afraid that we're too cut off from the old worlds to know much about them. What I can say is that he's a being of immense power, as I'm sure you're aware. He is not necessarily to be trusted, nor should we take anything that he says as a total lie.
Greg, can you read?
No.
Okay.
Right. We know they're after Chronepsis. How about would they bring him back if they were to attempt to do so?
Well, from what I understand, Chronepsis is not permitted within this existence. What would need to happen is, I believe the Ember Call's plot is to destroy Aelinor so that there is no reason to have any separation between the two. Doing such a thing would force Asgarath to be returned back to the previous old worlds, and they would collide, should they need to do so. And at that point, I don't see much reason why Asgarath would have much choice against the matter. It's that or face Nemesis by himself.
So you're saying that Asgarath would choose Chronepsis as an out rather than be consumed by Nemesis?
Yes, because consumption means certain doom for the god and for everything, but perhaps he would persist in that next creation.
Well, it's good to know that Asgarath is in the same line of thinking as us. I also believe that Chronepsis is a better result or outcome than Nemesis.
It would be his natural death. It's just the question of would he return after such a death, after a demise? Is he eternal? Is he essential to the existence of the universe or not? As it stands, Io is the only thing keeping us separated from what was before. He is the space that we persist within. Without him, we have no level of separation, no cosmos. It's hard for me to think and perceive what reality would be like without such a creator deity holding it together.
Io is the creator god and acts as the duality to Nemesis, correct?
Yes. And Asgarath is but a single aspect of Io. Like an avatar.
Yeah, our ultimate goal, really, is to eliminate Nemesis. Can we exist without Nemesis?
Yes.
Because it sounds like we cannot exist without Io, but
there
can
are
we exist
several
without
beings
Nemesis?
capable of taking up the mantle of Nemesis' place. Nemesis has been sealed away, utterly destroyed for, from what I understood, millennia. But trapped within a memory, held within a dream. We do not need that creature at all. Chronepsis, I believe, himself held that mantle of power for quite some time.
You think Chronepsis can take Nemesis' place?
Oh, yes.
Ah. That is a sort of equilibrium. As for Io, you're saying if Io were to dissolve himself, then creation would end itself?
If Io dies, then it is unsure what would happen, is what I would say, DM Fib. I have no idea what that would look like. Because then we have things like chemical bonds starting to fail at like a molecular level. Like that's like mass matter destruction.
Okay.
You have gotten rid of one of the forces.
Yes.
Oh man, that changes things
Like
too.
he is a centralized universe. You know, he is
That changes my end game goal, actually.
He's like the flamingo from Angry Beavers.
For the record, you find no information on Chronepsis in any library.
Yeah, I figured.
But Spirit Code is able to tell you about him.
What about the Far Seekers? I was gonna go to the Far Seekers.
Far Seekers have no information on Chronepsis.
Okay.
How do you have information on Chronepsis?
I am, in my particular position, kept informed of such things.
By whom?
Gives you kind of a slight smile.
The Warden, would they know?
I think they would have some knowledge of Chronepsis, things like this, yes. They were around for quite some time within the Void. And they certainly had their fair share of run-ins with the Legendary back in the day. It's possible, but I also know that they don't necessarily care for myth all that often.
Would I be able to speak to the Warden?
I believe she's in. I can call for her if you like.
That actually would help a lot, I think, in our current search. We are at a loss, I would say.
Very well. Alright. And he will send a message spell, and after not too long, this sort of violet-eyed woman, the Warden's soul, the current one, you'll kind of hear them stride up the hall towards you and join you within this sort of study.
Is the Farseekers part of the Chantry?
No.
Okay. So I'm definitely not around.
Probably not anymore, no. Not if you headed out to go look out that far.
Okay. Because as soon as I got no information, I probably would have headed back.
Yep.
So,
If the fake given is a cult, the Farseekers is a different cult or guild.
they're a guild.
Yeah, they're like a... I don't know how to describe... They're a government, I guess. Farseekers Guild is best described as.
More like an academy.
Yeah. But, like, they also have... Like, all the elections go through them, too. There are a lot of things. She will kind of poke her head through. Is there something I can help you with? What's up?
Sorry for calling you at this time. We are seeking information as well as some guidance.
Okay.
So we are looking into the Umbral Call. We know they're after Crenapses. Do you know anything about Crenapses that can lead us to the Umbral Call, perhaps?
Oh, well, from what I remember, something about him devouring sons or something like that back in the day. Real nasty, hungry dragon. Kind of transferred himself across time a little bit, seemed to have some sort of temporal manipulation, weird shit that I don't like touching. I don't know. I feel like, if I'm remembering correctly, he had a way of, like, eating himself to make himself stronger. Now that's a trick.
I heard if you can eat your own heart, you gain your own strength.
She kind of has to ponder that for a second and think. That might be true for some people, but I wouldn't try that just yet.
Eating hearts.
They're delicious. Get a really nice chewy one.
Never thought to do such a thing.
Should give you a smile, and at the topic of it, you should try it sometime. Particularly the golden ones, I would say.
We're searching for the Umbral Call here in the city. We can do the dirty work if you can provide us some direction or guidance. Where would they be in Halazar if they're here?
Oh god. Well, I mean, if I knew where they were, they'd be dead. Let's see. Let's think here. Well, I don't rightfully know. I've scared them away a couple times here. Did you guys gain any sort of insight as to what sort of presence is here? I might be able to point you in a direction.
We only know that their heads, Sorrow, Joy, Ire, were here a week ago or so.
Yes.
Were you there when they were here?
I was, yes. Myself and a few others were able to... You know, it was the damnedest thing. I swear, I shot a hole straight through Sorrow, and it was like nothing happened.
An illusion, maybe.
Perhaps, but there seemed to be something tactile to it. Now, I can punch ghosts. That's no problem. I can shoot ghosts, but that was different. I'm unsure. Be careful. If you have any intel on where they might be in the city, I might be able to point you out there. I've been here for a while now.
We know where they are in the Glasslands. We were able to get that information from their lackey downstairs.
Oh. Well, hold on. They're in the Glasslands.
Ah, yes. Sorry, I forgot to mention that.
That would have been
They
some
are
information that we could have used. Let me think here. Well, now it's a question of cost-benefit analysis. You see, we have at our disposal, a planet. And we have a problem section of that planet. What do we do with problem sections of a planet? We tend to trim them, similar to how we would any sort of an organism, right? An ulcer, a bad part of a tree. You just cut it out.
Make it into glass.
Make it into glass. Do we know where?
Yes. They're in a mountain to the northeast, far northeast of their capital. However, what is your plan? I'm curious as to how you want to trim them.
Well, we could just ask Big Blue to swallow them on up. Is my thought. Or fire the Eversong straight through their, hold. See what we catch.
I thought that only affects the Sundered, no?
Oh, it should, but if they're using Sundered power, that it should at least give you an opening, right?
I see.
At the very least, calamity. We could use earthquakes, storms, volcanic eruption, things like this. Eleanor's
Yes,
blood sustains you, but if he wants to, he can get nasty.
Can he manipulate the environment of the Glasslands to be a little bit more hospitable, at least for us, if that's something he can do?
Perhaps, but I think you would need to pay some sort of gift towards him. I understand the benefit, but every time we ask a god to do something for us, it takes a toll, right?
Of course.
I know that just as much as any of them.
And another question for you. Should we be able to capture them, defeat them? What is your plan with their fate afterwards?
Well, Sorrow I want dead. The rest of them, I don't care, but they've done some truly disgusting things.
What is Sorrow? How is he so powerful?
I wish I knew. I've killed him once, that I know. He seems to come back after a number of days anyway.
The power of a sad boy.
That does sound like lichdom. If he is a lich, is he tied to Tenteus? Is that possible?
Tenteus' fiends, not necessarily. If anybody, it would be Kalas the Death Messiah, but I don't know necessarily. There are other aspects of undeath that are even out of his particular interest or divine sort of focus. I'm not quite sure.
I don't know or trust all the gods, but any chance that one of the Court of 20 are working with the Umbral Call?
That might have been the case in a previous existence, but the gods as we know them are simply shadows of Io. They serve to better his functionality. Ultimately, they are more similar than one might think. Even the twin opposites of one another, civilization and nature, are ultimately, at the end of the day, cut from the same cloth.
Well, now we have the location of the Umbral Call. Honestly, that is the best lead we have, since we don't know where they are here in Alazar, if they're even here. I would like to go there, I'm just not confident in our ability to face them head on.
Well, it might take time. You might not be able to face them quite head on. It might be more of a... I would say longer battle, even if you have such a direct approach. There might be more tactical focus needed in such a trial. But should you actually have your eyes on there, I would love to lend my aid.
We will definitely call upon you, should the time come. There's much preparation we must prepare, should we take that direction.
I will say... Given the location of Glasslands, there's not much to be lost from destroying the mountain itself, things like that. Be as ruthless as you need to be. As for Halhazar, do as you will. Again, any intel, let Spirik and I know. Spirik's from here. He knows a lot more than I do, but keep my eye out.
Is there anything else you guys would like to ask the warden?
I am not there.
Oh, right.
Greg
Yes.
has nothing.
Yeah, well said.
Thank you for your time.
She'll nod. She'll storm off.
Honestly, looking in Halzar seems very difficult at the moment. I think we should make plans to attack them at their base, since we know where they are.
Okay, I'll need to kill a pig then.
I think there's many pigs you'll be needing for our future escapades.
Spirit will speak up. If you so desire, you haven't used your extra pass yet. You'll need transport to somewhere across the world from here. Best I can give you, I believe... Let's see here. I have to count quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. All right. The closest gate to Kree is actually all the way in Murmur.
Can we get a map?
Oh, sorry. I thought I dragged you over. I'm pretty sure it's in Murmur.
Painful. Bad DM.
Awful DM.
Murmur.
No, you know I.
Oh, there.
So quite far.
Is there one in Zavid?
There is no portal to Skyfell. No.
Damn.
But there is a portal to Garatha, which you could take a ship then. Which might be faster. Might not be. But you'd have to pass through Zavid territory.
Yeah.
But that might not be an issue.
I do want to try to go to Zavid for my original plan of diverting their attention northward instead of towards Eastgard. If I can do that, maybe I can get the help of Ogrim, because then they don't need Ogrim to fight the Zavid. I'll discuss this when the party's back together, though.
Okay. Lorenzo, anywhere else you want to head? Anything else that you're looking for? Or are you just taking your time in the library looking around?
Honestly, I know it's kind of a meme, but I might go talk to Marin.
Okay, that's fine. Have a chat with yourself.
Having a chat with myself.
What is
connections?
What does Marin's office look like?
Oh, so like bonsai tree shit, like complete Zen peace temple. And then like weird little decorations of crows and moons. Like, he made his own little emblem of like a moon with a crow in front of it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Above, like he kept Adis's desk, right? But above it, like he definitely hung his scythe. Like he keeps it up there above his desk. Doesn't actually keep it on him until he has to go do something. Not a scythe, his like climbing pick.
Yeah.
As a general thing, he keeps his little stone above the door on a little contraption that if somebody walks in, he can kind of drop it on them. It's tracker stone. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, the tracking stone. God, I forgot about that fucking thing. Yes, I got you.
Yeah. Super useful. Had to make it work way too much. Other than that, nah, he's got like bonsai trees, like training mats for the times that he actually tries to train other people in the psionic bits.
Yeah.
People come looking for it. There's some kind of communication thing for the other continents, for the other 4 fate given friends. Probably something in his office for that. But the big thing I'm looking for with Marin is I want to know if he read some kind of notes from Adis that could help us at all. Because I know Adis, and Adis was a maniac with contingency plans.
One of the contingency plans is the Amber Prison, which holds in a lower level just about every villain that he was able to get his hands on over the years. Effectively, there are hundreds of creatures as powerful as like beholders to a certain Naga, things like that, like possible dragons down there. The other thing that you would have picked up on is that Ada's song was very possibly entirely insane. At the end of his life, everything that he's writing in, it's like past a cipher. You start seeing him just start like drawing these like really intricate looking like pyramid type things, with like these very ornately designed like almost swirling patterns. The very last page of his notes is, it's almost like he's drawn in the ink on every single area other than this like almost this like face that's like looking at you almost like three-dimensionally through the ink of this like entity.
Does it have 6 eyes?
It does not have 6 eyes. I don't think it has fucking 6 eyes. Let me check. It's not that 6 eyes if it is. I think it has 3. I'll have to look.
Okay. Definitely would have gone out of its way to try to get this, whatever these scrawlings were, some kind of background on it.
Yeah. Make a religion check. Yeah, 3 eyes. 3 eyes.
As Marin or as Lorenzo?
As Marin. Because it's background info. 12, okay. Not quite sure.
Marin wasn't good at these.
No. This would have been a god that was kind of out of your time anyway. Somebody who had changed a little bit over the years. But you recognize it as some sort of divine influence. Afflicting. As far as the Umbral Call goes, Ada's song was not alive to have to worry about the Umbral Call or their presence or know of Chronepsis.
Yeah. Well, I thought maybe Chronepsis.
No.
Would have been.
Chronepsis was discovered to be alive like, I don't know, 4 days ago, something like that. Deus, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
very
Yeah,
recent.
but we found out he existed 4 days ago. Doesn't necessarily mean he only exists. He just became to exist. It's 4 days
Yeah,
ago.
He was
that-
thought to be dead, though.
he was thought to
Like a
be
dead god.
sundered or something like that. He completely
Yeah.
taken.
I understand
Yeah,
now.
yeah. So it's news to, and even the fact that like it still might be a ploy, that Chronepsis is not sundered. Like that might not be real. Like this very well might just be that Chronepsis is so powerful that when he was sundered, he retained like some. There was something that Nemesis could manipulate into communication.
Okay.
That's scary.
And that has happened before. Actually, make a fucking wisdom saving throw.
Oh.
Who?
You. I need to see if
As
you're going
Varys?
crazy just yet. Yep.
Oh. Oh no.
13. Yeah, you're going a little bit mad.
Yay.
You remember kind of Marin does. In your sort of 20 years since the ever since you were able to defeat the ceaseless hunger up in the cosmos, your time in limbo, where a six-eyed face stared at you through this rift that had been opened up, and that face, you find yourself like drawing yourself sometimes, or just like thinking about, or having you wake up in a nightmare looking at that face, this sort of horned figure, odd, kind of weird and gangly looking, six eyes, very like jagged teeth, gazing at you from some far off realm. And recently your dreams have been getting worse.
Okay.
And that's sort of an update on Marin, amongst all the other fun things that I'm sure he's getting up to on his day-to-day.
100%.
So now with that information,
Lorenzo's still gonna go up there because
Yep.
he doesn't know that.
Yep.
Conversation with myself. I like if he doesn't know anything about Chronepsis. It's not a big help. Does Marin have any kind of? I mean, I'm assuming he has eyes in the city. Does he have any kind of hint, inkling on what might be happening in Halhazar?
you know what? This is where a legacy thing will actually help you guys. Fantastic. It actually happened. The most I at the end of the campaign, I asked people to choose a few things that they would do to potentially help themselves in the future, and this will actually play out to help you guys out a little bit here. People are talking about these flyers that they've been seeing around town, talking about the Fate Given acting for too long like they've been in complete control over every living being, and Aelinor overstepping their duties, hyper brutality against the common folk, things like that. And there are a collection of flyers that are being put up.
Well, I can't deny that.
And possible, talks of getting the Chantry of the Dawn basically sunk and sent out to sea. And separated away from Halhazar so that Halhazar could be kept as its own, city, and that the Fate Given would be forced to leave.
What's the reception on it? as far as
Pretty mixed. Surprisingly, people are getting into it a little bit. And that mostly
Oh, that's
stems
not
from
surprising at all.
a few incidences that happened just 20 years ago. The entire northwestern section of Branamoro exploded when King Sorrow broke into the Chantry of the Dawn. He had set up explosives there. And during their fight, the Fate Given, the Five, were not able to defeat King Sorrow and also defuse these bombs. And that failure and a few other ones that have come from the very troublesome time that the new Fate Given of the second generation have had trying to keep things going, things are not looking so good.
okay.
Resentment.
A little bit of resentment.
Oh, that's definitely a lead on a cult.
Yeah. Okay.
Can't get any more blatant than flyers.
I mean, it might not be the Umbro Call, but
Lorenzo will definitely take that back to the, put that in his pocket and take that back to the group. Yeah, I don't know if I have much else for Marin, considering he doesn't know anything about much about the Umbral Call or anything like that. Yeah, no, I think I'm good with Marin.
Okay. And again, you sense no Fate Given presence from Marin anymore.
Sad.
All right. Cool. But it's odd. It's like looking in a mirror a little bit, even though you look nothing alike. Not necessarily.
Hug myself.
Yeah. You hug yourself.
He's not a Fate Given anymore?
No,
Wow.
he's not. Nope.
I thought even previous generation Fate Given are still Fate Given, but
He'll kick your ass.
That's what happens when you touch yourself.
No, the previous gen Fate Given have had their powers stripped when they were reborn.
oh, that's how it works.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what we're calling it.
Yes. That is... God. All right. Information gathered. What are you guys' next steps?
I guess we can discuss what we're gonna do now.
Alright, I
If-
discussed my plan of being framed for the murder of the baby, and then I kill 2 guards and whatnot, and act really angry and crazy to attract the attention of the Ire recruiter.
That's literally psychotic. I can't agree to that. I mean, the only way I could see that working is I don't
I'll
want
make sure it's a quick death.
Okay.
There's many
Yeah.
unknowns.
Just go straight for the neck.
I don't think killing a couple
Then
guards will
just
be enough.
brutalize the body afterwards.
We didn't get a chance to talk to Gapra Stalingard, which is the other Umbro Call member we were able to retrieve, but she has a deep history with hatred against the nation, and from that she was recruited. I don't think killing a couple guards will get you into the Umbro Call.
Well, no, it's like, well, will give me the pretty much the paperwork of using. Used to be in the King's Army one as a high officer, but not really well known. But enough that I'll have enough betrayal and sorrow or whatnot to be insane and angry, as my nation betrays me.
Let's say you can build a good backstory. In the end, you'll be alone when they recruit you because they won't be recruiting us. And I feel
Yeah.
like a solo mission is very dangerous. Sorrow is extremely powerful, very intelligent as well, which is
Well, I wasn't gonna kill him right on the spot. We needed information.
For surveillance. I'm sorry, for information gathering. I was figuring we can perhaps set up some sort of surveillance around their base.
Oh yeah, we can find out who's like setting up these flyers.
No, that too. We can look into that as we make some preparations to go to the Glasslands itself.
I
I
mean,
was thinking,
I can use the boss's upstairs eyes. I'm sure he wouldn't mind giving me some info on it. Forgot what I was gonna say. I mean, Greg, if big if, hear me out. If we did do this, we could have some people on standby, ready to resurrect the people you kill as a ploy. We'd have to maybe run it by like the Chantry if they'd be
Why?
okay spending some resources on an infiltration mission.
Why do we need to resurrect prisoners?
Not. Oh, I thought you were gonna kill guards.
No, we're gonna hire prisoners as guards as a way for them to lessen their sentence, but actually end up killing them.
I think that will require some legal paperwork regardless.
It just requires talking to the king.
Is
Teus thinks back to the actual killing fields that he witnessed the other day.
Yeah.
God.
As I've spoken before, I am very much against killing. Even when it comes to the Umbral Call, it sounds like the warden wants Sorrow dead, and he poses a huge threat. And I think I lean towards him dying than, trying to convince him to join us.
Oh,
He
that's right.
just-
We're killing people. Oh, yeah.
He's too smart. He's got too much information and power. It'd be hard to control such an entity. Regardless, we need to find a way to get to their base, situate ourselves so we don't die from the desert itself. Maybe get some surveillance. So there's much prep to do. I guess at the same time we can find out who's distributing these flyers. Wait, did you share the information with us?
yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I was gonna say I think another thing we could consider is if we do go there, that we would probably have to look into maybe making ourselves a militia, like a local militia. Greg, I'm sure we could use some of your experience. I don't know if that's the word.
You want me to Shanghai people?
I mean, you're from there. It looks like you had some kind of operation going on.
Actually,
yeah,
speaking of militia,
we weren't working in the Glasslands.
Yeah, but I mean, you're from the area.
I only went to the Glasslands for a summer retreat.
That's awful.
That's canon now.
And then I lost Fappy.
Oh no, that's also canon.
Not Fappy.
That's why I need to kill a pig and get a new Fappy.
I was thinking if we can get to the Zavid nation, we can perhaps convince them to work with us indirectly. We do know, after all, that they want to destroy or conquer every nation around them. If we can have them move up to the Glasslands, then they might pull the Umbral Call's attention away from, well, the rest of the world, but also they have to focus on more defense, which would help us, I presume.
I mean, yeah, I mean, if we, because they're a bunch of goblins, right?
Actual like psycho Giga Chad hobgoblins. I'm talking like on a planet born from heroes. These are this is a nation made up of every single great hobgoblin general that has ever been born, that has died and has been reborn here.
Honestly, if we could make good with them, or at least convince them to, maybe tug on the pride strings and try to get them to fight the Umbral Call with us, might be the backup we need for now.
I think that would be a great plan, especially since we don't have much men ourselves. Well, we do have the Warden, which can probably take on the entire Zavid by herself if she really wanted to. But
We her and I have history. I know what she's capable of. Don't.
I don't know if I want to bother her that much, though. I think she's very intrigued in taking the head of the Umbral Call.
Don't worry. I'll go bother her for you. Don't you worry your pretty little head, Deus. I got you on this one.
I'll leave that up to you then. In terms of the Zabid,
I
I
think
guess
I
we
think
should
this
pay
job is
them
a good start. I mean, we might want to look around at other major nations in the Dunelands.
That's true. I'm not too familiar with the land, though. Would
That's-
the nation north of the Glass lands, if they have a nation, would be interested in invading their southern nation?
Valkynda is described as, or Valkydna is described as the land of madness. It is a very almost like corrupted by Valkun area. A lot of weird psionic shit going on there. You might find some allies there. You might find some weird magic stuff. I don't really know. But there's no portal there directly.
I noticed that the Glasslands is actually bordering 4 different nations,
Oh,
or is it 3? I can't really tell.
It's 4. There's a very little stretch of Joel that
Okay.
yeah.
you know what? When I talked to Marin, could I have asked him about what Jermid was up to in the Dunelands?
He hasn't heard from Jermid in ages.
Okay.
It's been like 10
10
years.
Damn. All right.
Like, can they get in contact again?
Yeah, I was gonna ask if I could request Marin's aid with maybe trying to get in contact with
So
him.
when I say he hasn't heard from Jermid in years, I mean Jermid has been off the map for 10 years.
Off the grid. All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. I mean, that makes sense. He's probably in hell.
He's probably in hell. Yeah, that's the implication.
which layer though?
Fifth.
Fifth, yeah.
Oh, Stygian. Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to think, is that fifth or sixth?
I think the cold one, but not the really cold one, just the one that's ice.
Yeah,
That's
the really
the
cold
Gia.
one's the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, the really cold. Yeah.
Stygia is the ice one.
Yeah, no.
There's one that's like
Yeah.
cold flame. That one's like really fucked up. That's the one that Mephisto has, which I think is the one right up. I think that's the 8th, isn't it? Right? Do I have my shit fucked up? I might be all messed up.
Fuck, I don't know the layers of hell.
I only know 1 and 5. I literally don't know any of the others.
That's fair.
It's been a long time since World Religion, so I don't remember.
That's fair.
Yeah, no, I will. I guess that's a dead end. But hey, if his name comes up, we could always look into him. He's the fate given that watches over that continent.
I guess we can keep an eye out.
My best chance for recruitment is things within the Glasslands, because any national resources, there's not going to be a motivation for anyone.
Any way we can pay the Zavid a visit?
Pretty good point.
The most direct way to get to Zaved would be through Dranican, Garatha. There's a portal there.
Even if we did go there, it would take so much time of travel just to get to Zavid. I need to make a faster way of transportation.
You have a car.
I had to make my car. Wait, do we have a car? What?
Yeah.
I got a car.
Meg has a car.
Oh, that's right. I was gonna make my own quote unquote car.
It's eco-friendly. It uses anything as fuel.
I've got some fun lore for that when we have time. About what your car is. Because it's... You shouldn't have that thing.
I need to make my vehicle. Code name vehicle. Not actually a vehicle.
All right. What's your next action? We got like 15 minutes left, but anything you guys want to figure out or any questions you got, things like that, things to move on for next time? let's wrap up and figure out what we're heading out to do.
Do we want to follow the lead to the Flyers until it hits a dead end, or do we just want to go straight to the Dunelands?
I figured that's local. We can do that within maybe our 15-minute time, perhaps. But other than that,
yeah, certainly.
I just want to prep.
Certainly. If you want to go ahead and try to find these flyers, that's easy enough.
Like the source of the Flyers, you're saying?
Not even the source. I'm just saying step 1, finding a flyer, right?
Okay.
Nodi, read this to me.
He clears his throat and he reads it out,
Okay.
Traitorous, fate given, do not value your lives, fear them, kick them out of Halhazar.
True.
That's basically it. And this one says something different. And he'll read out. It's a lot of like pretty slanderous stuff. And some of them are torn down and crumpled up and things like that, but some of them are up there still. And they're
a good chunk of them are true.
And to be fair, a couple of them are true. That's yeah. And they're scattered about. A lot of them.
We should probably look for the places that it hasn't been set up yet and see if they'll expand into that.
I will say that you don't see any of them in Bronharpel at all.
Okay, Bronharpel.
Which is the bottom right-hand corner of town.
Sure.
That's one thing you notice. Go ahead and make an investigation check if you want to try to find the source of these.
It's in the other low-quality town areas as well?
Yeah. Bronharpel's like mid. It's in the low, it's in the high.
Okay.
They're everywhere.
Alright, so I guess we'll keep watch on that cross street, probably.
Does the signs have any kind of like signage, like of like signature that shows who made it, or even like which company's responsible for putting it up?
These seem, most of them, almost like hand drawn but artistic, and they are almost entirely. No, not almost entirely. They are without any sort of label or identification. These are anonymous.
You know how I paid to put up flyers once before? I forgot, like a merchant hall or something. I don't know. I paid somebody.
Oh yeah, you paid a like local like chamber of commerce basically to distribute and make these things for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering if there's like if they have that kind of thing going on where there's like a distribution company or production company or that puts up these flyers or signs or whatever.
Make in this is a tricky one. That's pretty smart, I would say. It's certainly some sort of intelligence check.
Investigation.
Investigation. Go for it. That's fine. That or insight into whether or not these were designed by such a company. Insight 13. You don't.
Can I guidance that?
That's fine. Yeah, 17. That's pretty good. It's hard to say whether or not this was made professionally in such a situation like that or mass produced. You definitely think that for the quality that these are, it's very odd that there are so many of them. And that they're without any sort of label. There's not even like there is a little like blurb saying who made your advertisements. Like you find like one of your advertisements still up. And it has like a description of who made it and things like that and paid for by this, right?
Yeah.
There is no such indicator on these.
With general knowledge of the city, what is there any reason that there's no like that I could think of that there's no that there's no flyers in the corner of the city
in Bronharpel? That the Mr. Harple, the guy who actually runs Braun Harple, that's real. First of all, is a pimp. Second of all, was saved by Fate Given before. He does not take shit from anybody. He keeps his island clean. And I bet he probably caned a person who tried to come in here with those, and spooked him away. So,
want to meet him.
Huey, I think his name is Huey Harple. I have to remember. Bran knows. I don't.
I want to meet Huey Harple.
Hermes Harple. That's what it is. I'm looking at it right now. Yes.
Definitely one of those characters you made, and you're like, God, I'm proud of this.
Yes.
Oh, I will keep that in mind. I will point that out to people, to Greg and Deus, and just mention, like, it's probably not even worth looking at this part of town for any evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just don't notice any flyers there when you're like taking a walkabout. If you want to try to catch somebody putting up these posters, that might take some extra time. But each of you can go ahead and make an investigation check if you're splitting up, or if you're all taking a combined effort, I'll let you do it with advantage.
I'll be honest, I don't think Deus would spend time looking for someone putting them up.
Okay.
But he might pay a guy just to look, just to watch.
Fair. That's also fair.
Okay.
It'll be
he'd probably do that.
That's 2 silver. That's no big deal.
Okay, I will pay 2 silver.
Let's just do an investigation check as Marin. That would have been interesting.
Go ahead and roll it, Begro, if that's what you're gonna do. I will roll to see how your guy succeeds. Lorenzo. Okay, so I will say that unfortunately, for the rest of the day, you guys don't notice anybody putting these things up. You see more appear, but you don't see from where. Unfortunately.
Our rolls have been big poo poo.
Big poo poo, but that's okay. Because you gained some sort of insight from that, regardless, some hints, some clues. And that will finish our day up. We'll get some downtime, stuff like that figured out. We've got to talk about things like that. We've still got a little bit left of time left. What are you guys doing with the end of your night? We have not progressed a day yet, I don't think, with these characters before. Where do you guys stay in the city? Where you each have rooms, and actually we need to update the room rules. I am still working on that. Each of you will have your own little custom study of some sort, a resource available to you in each of those within your
I have a
houses.
little cotton metering machine.
Nice. A
I'm in
metery
Chantry.
or metery?
The metering machine.
Oh, that's your car. That's right. Got it.
Yes.
Where do you park your car?
Right now it's in the in that little plaza with the well and Harple Island.
Nice. That's a good place.
Where's Harpo Island?
Braun Harple is southeast.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. It's also the major port of the city.
Ah.
Yeah.
I would definitely just stay at the in the Chantry.
Yeah, makes sense. All right.
Yeah.
Any last closing things that you guys do at nighttime? Any things like that?
I'm crafting. I'm probably crafting while they're looking for a flyer guy. I'm crafting overnight. I'm not sleeping.
We'll figure out that kind of stuff at the end, right? Right at a session, we'll do our. Actually, make a roll though. You can do a quick crafting roll.
I'll probably out of session thing, but I'd probably go talk to the warden.
Okay, sure. Tinker's Tool. That's a major success. So go ahead and mark that because it's over 25. That's awesome.
What does that mean, though?
That means you get 15 gold worth instead of 10.
Okay. Oh, and can I roll one more time for the night? Because I'm not sleeping.
That's right, because you don't have to sleep. Go for it.
Yeah.
Gross.
It truly is. I have to recalculate your guys' max HP, or not max HP, but max XP that you need to get to your next level. All right, 16. Yeah, that's a success. So progress as usual. Good stuff.
So
Alrighty.
proficiency is 5, expertise is 10, right? Is that right? No, I can't remember. It's been so long.
For what do you mean?
For thinkers, right? A gold per 8 hours.
Yes. Oh,
Like
I'm sorry. For
progress?
material use, it's actually 7.5 for expertise. For like what you're using in like-
I know in terms of progress.
oh,
work
progress
done.
is 10 and then 15.
10 for proficiency, 15 for expertise.
Yes, and if you get a major success, then it pops up to 25
Oh, gotcha.
for
Okay.
expertise. Yeah.
What's today's date for in game?
I'm glad you asked. It is currently the 16th of Gath.
Okay.
It is Celaday.
My nightcap just goes over my head, and it just has 2 eye holes in it.
That's cute. All right.
Wholesome Greg moments.
Greg is the best. Sort of. He's like orc wholesome. You know what I mean? He's like he's getting there. I will say that in your sleep, a message comes from you, from your sponsor. Something that has not
From
happened
me?
before.
Ew.
To you, yes.
Oh, to me,
To you.
not from me.
Not from you, no. Manifests within your mind, and we'll get to what that looks like next session. But you find yourself dreaming of going very, very fast.
Oh, yeah?
And with that, we'll close out for the night. Unless there's any last minute things that we got to do.
Greg is gonna be shot out of a cannon.
Maybe. We'll see. But I think we'll call it there. All right.
I want that for you.
Say bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye
All right.
bye.
Bye-bye. End stream.
Bye stream.